Greetings and shalom, everyone. It's nice to meet you again on this video. Hopefully, we will learn something that will be a blessing for us. Without wasting any more time, I want to share something about reserve and courtship, and this will be a bilingual video. I will speak some in Indonesian and some in English. Hopefully that you will get benefit from this video as you continue to stay tuned and be blessed. Now let's see the screen, the PowerPoint presentation of the reserve and courtship. Okay, I hope that the presentation can be seen now. So I've just finished my Bible study with the Camel Bible Study for Teens. So I've just shared this with some teens in the Camel Bible Study on this day, January 24, 20 and 22. And because of the blessings, I also want to share it with you. Reserve and courtship. So reserve and courtship is something that being specialized. It says here in Indonesian translation, dikhususkan untuk seseorang yang spesial. Reserve for someone special. Wow, that is the meaning of reserve. For someone special. As you can see here, there's a reserve notifications in a table in a restaurant regarding a table that has been reserved by someone. And as we know, a table that has been reserved can never be ordered by someone else. That's why reserve means being specialized or has been reserved by someone who is special. Okay? And this is the definition given by Institute in Basic Life Principles, or you can call it IBLP. It says here, courtship is a relationship between a man and a woman in which they seek to determine if it is God's will for them to marry each other. Courtship is a choice to avoid temptation and experience the blessing of purity. Courtship adalah sebuah hubungan antara seorang pria, perhatikan ya, seorang pria dan seorang wanita yang mana mereka sedang mencari untuk menetapkan apakah itu adalah kehendak Tuhan bagi mereka untuk menikahi satu sama lainnya. Seorang pria dan seorang wanita. Bukan pria dengan pria atau wanita dengan wanita. Tapi seorang pria dan seorang wanita. Selanjutnya dikatakan, courtship adalah suatu pilihan katanya untuk menghindari pencobaan dan mengalami sendiri berkat dari kesucian atau kemurnian. Itulah arti definisi yang diberikan oleh IBLP, Institute in Basic Life Principles. Selanjutnya dari Healing Way Indonesia mengatakan, courtship adalah suatu hubungan khusus yang serius antara seorang pria dan wanita untuk memulai masa pengenalan diri antara satu dengan lainnya dan mencari petunjuk Tuhan apakah dia berkenan dan menuntun mereka masuk ke suatu pernikahan kudus dan menjalani kehidupan lembaga rumah tangga. Nah, ini sangat menarik untuk diperhatikan sahabat-sahabat. Bahwa hubungan khusus yang serius antara kembali lagi pria dan wanita. Ya mirip-mirip lah dengan apa yang didefinisikan oleh IBLP tadi ya. Selanjutnya kita bahas tentang kesalahan pengertian tentang pacaran. The wrong assumption about courtship. Hubungan cinta kasih ditandai dengan adanya aktivitas seksual atau percumbuan. Jadi love relationship that you can see or signed with sexual activity and some kisses, and you can say something in touching part. So that's courtship in a wrong assumption atau pengertian yang salah tentang pacaran. And then it says Tradisi seperti ini dipraktikkan oleh orang-orang yang tidak memahami makna kehormatan diri perempuan. Tradisi seperti ini dipengaruhi oleh media massa yang menyebarkan kebiasaan yang tidak memuliakan kaum perempuan. So this kind of activity, sexual activity before the time, especially not in marriage relationship, we call it harassment. So avoid this, brothers and sisters, brethren. Never do the things, especially sexual activity, before you enter into a marriage relationship. Next, masa pacaran sebagaimana diadakan orang pada zaman ini adalah suatu rencana penipuan dan kemunafikan. A scheme of deception and hypocrisy. Dengan mana musuh segala jiwa mempunyai lebih banyak pengaruh daripada Tuhan. Amanat kepada orang muda. Ini diambil dari Letters to Young People ya, amanat kepada orang muda. Dan di sini kita diingatkan bahwa masa pacaran sebagaimana diarahkan orang pada zaman ini lebih kepada penipuan dan kemunafikan. Jadi hindari pacaran sebelum waktunya. Here it says that courtship during this time were more to scheme of deception and hypocrisy, where the enemy of souls have more influence than God. That's why we should avoid what we call courtship before the time. We will just notice later on what is the perfect timing for someone to have a courtship relationship. So notice that courtship relationship before its time will tend to make the devil have more power upon you than God himself. We must avoid this so that we won't fall into deception, moreover into hypocrisy. And then we are going to learn about the 7 principles of courtship. Indonesian translation says 7 prinsip berpacaran. Now we will see the first principle of courtship. The first one is involve God, libatkan Tuhan. Ada bacaan dari buku Membina Keluarga Bahagia. I believe it is Adventist Home in English version, page 39. It says, here is the Indonesian translation. It says, orang Nasrani yang tulus hati tidak akan meneruskan niatnya menikah tanpa mengetahui bahwa Allah berkenan terhadap tindakannya itu. Ia tidak mau memilih untuk dirinya sendiri, dia akan merasa bahwa Allah harus memilih bagi dia. The first step or principle that we must do if we want to get involved with a courtship relationship, we must involve God and pray in our heart wholeheartedly and say to God, God, I don't want to choose for myself. I will let you choose the right person for me. That is how we should pray in asking God to choose for us if we want to enter a married, a courtship relationship. First thing to do is involve God. Let God involve in your decision making, in your choice making. Now, the second principle. The second principle is we need to have the approval of our parents, persetujuan orang tua. Salah satu kesalahan yang paling besar yang berhubungan dengan masalah ini ialah bahwa orang-orang muda dan orang-orang yang belum berpengalaman, cinta kasih mereka sama sekali tidak boleh dicampuri. Kalau ada satu pokok persoalan yang perlu dipandang dari berbagai segi ialah masalah pernikahan, ya. We need to see from all angle, from all perspective about marriage, and here we need the counsels of our parents. And then it proceed, bantuan dari pengalaman orang lain serta pertimbangan yang tenang dan teliti dari kedua belah pihak adalah perlu secara positif. Bertanyalah kepada Allah dan kepada ibu bapakmu yang takut akan Allah itu dan jadikan mereka penasihatmu, hai sahabat-sahabatku, orang muda. So notice that when we ask for our parents' approval, that will help us to avoid something that is bad in our courtship relationship. We need to ask for help from the experts. Those are our parents, of course. And we need to ask God and also our parents whom are fearing God. So I'm saying about God-fearing parents, yeah, not those who are not fearing God. So if you didn't have any more parents, I mean, they have already passed away. So I will encourage you to have spiritual parents, those who you see in the church that are spiritual enough to guide you through your courtship relationship. So you must have a spiritual parents for you to understand the experts' counsels, yeah, advice from the experts. Next, principle number 3. Tidak terburu-buru, pikir baik-baik. Don't rush, you need to think wisely. Jika orang yang bermaksud menikah tidak menginginkan kesengsaraan, bayangan kemalangan sesudah nikah, mereka akan memikirkan soal itu dengan sungguh-sungguh dan tekun. So it says here, if you want to have a marriage and you didn't want any misery and some bad luck after your marriage, you need to think about it in a fervent way and diligently. And it follows, dalam banyak hal pernikahan telah menjadi suatu kuk yang memilukan hati. Beribu-ribu orang telah menikah tetapi tidak sejodoh. Buku-buku surga dipenuhi dengan catatan kesengsaraan, kejahatan, dan perlakuan kejam yang tersembunyi dalam jubah pernikahan. Inilah sebabnya, kata Nyonya White, saya suka mengamarkan orang-orang muda yang telah mencapai umur, notice, perhatikan kata mencapai umur, supaya sikap terburu-buru diperlambat dalam memilih teman hidup. So, Mrs. White give the counsels that we should give a fervent and we need not to rush in making the decision of choosing someone to be our lifetime partner. So no need to rush. We need to think wisely. That's the principle number 3 on having a courtship relationship. Now let's go to the principle number 4. It says here, perasaan bukanlah pemimpin. Let your feelings not the one that's guiding you or leading you in making the decision to enter a courtship relationship, ya. Cinta yang benar bukanlah nafsu besar bernyala dan darah mendidih. Sebaliknya ia tenang dan kalem. So a true love is not moved with lust or something that burns you like a fire or that makes you boiled blood, yeah. So it should be what? Calm. I don't know the right translation for calm. I mean, maybe it should be understandable, more understanding, more what you call that, more calm, and you need to think wisely. I think that's the meaning of calm. Maybe you can translate it into meekness. I thought it. Maybe it's meekness. Now, the other quotations. So all the quotations here was taken from Adventist Home Book. Cinta adalah suatu pemberian indah yang kita terima dari Yesus. So love is a wonderful, beautiful gift that we get from Jesus. Cinta kasih sejati dan suci bukanlah suatu perasaan. So true love, which is a true holy love, is not a feeling, melainkan suatu prinsip. Instead, it is a principle. So notice that, brothers and sisters, that a true love is not a feeling, but actually a principle. So never make a decision led by your feeling. Instead, use your healthy brain to think wisely and being moved by principle and not by feeling. Now, let's go to the principle number 5. Principle number 5 is cukup umur bukan ikut-ikutan. So you need to have how do I translate this? Mature age, yeah, mature age. Not just following others who has already got married on their young age. So what is the mature age for courtship? We will see later. Perhubungan yang diadakan pada masa kanak-kanak seringkali berakibat kesengsaraan dalam perkawinan ataupun dalam perceraian yang mendatangkan malu. It says here, a marriage relationship during the childhood. It says here kanak-kanak. Kanak-kanak in our Indonesian translation, if we translate it into English, it should be childhood. Oftentimes result in miserability during the marriage life. So many times this kind of marriage end up with divorce, and it brings shame to the family. And this kind of relationship will not end in the right way. It says here in Indonesian, perhubungan yang terlalu pagi, apalagi kalau diadakan dengan tidak setahu orang tua, jarang sekali berakhir dengan baik. It says, this kind of relationship that has been done in too rush way or too early will end up, it says, often ends well. So it will not end well because it was too early. So it says here also in Indonesian translation, cinta yang masih muda itu haruslah ditahan sampai waktunya tiba apabila umur yang cukup dan pengalaman yang cukup. So you need to have mature age and also enough experience. Wah, mature age and enough experience. Membuat cinta itu mulia dan selamat untuk membukakan rantainya. Makes the love to be honorable and safe to open the chain. Seorang muda yang masih belum lewat 20 tahun. So here is the standard, brothers and sisters. 20 years old. Umur 20 tahun adalah standar. Seorang muda yang masih belum lewat 20 tahun umurnya tidak dapat menimbang dengan baik tentang kewajaran seorang yang sama mudanya pula dengan dia untuk menjadi teman hidupnya. Below 20 years old, you cannot make the right decision to choose someone as young as you to be your lifetime partner. So you need to reach 20 years old before you are mature enough in age to make the right decision. I don't know why, but that's the given instructions from the spirit of prophecy. Let's go to the next part. It says here, kutuk Tuhan selalu menghinggapi banyak perhubungan yang tidak pada waktunya serta tidak pantas yang diadakan pada zaman sekarang dalam sejarah dunia. So, says here, this is so frightening. Says, the curse of God always being upon those who have the relationship before its time. And it says here, it is not good to be done on this time if you are not yet in a mature age to have it. So mature age and also enough experience, 20 years old. Now, principle number 6, usia sepadan. Right age, I think ya. Right age. Kalau boleh janganlah ada perbedaan umur yang terlalu mencolok. Suatu kelalaian dalam hal ini dapat mengakibatkan kehancuran kesehatan pihak yang lebih muda, maka seringkali anak-anak pun tidak mempunyai kekuatan badani dan otak. Mereka tidak dapat menerima dari orang tua yang sudah lanjut usia, perawatan dan pergaulan yang erat yang dibutuhkan kehidupan mereka yang masih muda belia, dan mungkin pula mereka dirugikan oleh kematian bapak atau ibu pada saat memerlukan bimbingan dan cinta kasih. So it said here, the right age, I mean, something that you can say you are in the right age between you and that person that you are going to have this courtship relationship and later on the marriage relationship. So that when you have children, You are not too old to fulfill all their needs. That's the point. So maybe the ideal age for both of you, if there is a gap between the age, just let us just make it 5 years gap in between you and your partner. Me and my wife, we have this 11 months gap. So she is 11 months older than me. So that is still an ideal age to have a marriage relationship. Now let's go to the principle number 7. Waktu break yang cukup. Enough break time. So we are talking about someone that has already been in a relationship, and then she or he broke up with that someone, and now is seeking to have another relationship to someone new. So it says here in Indonesian translation, mempermainkan hati adalah kejahatan yang tidak kepalang tanggung dalam pemandangan Bapa yang kudus. Namun masih ada yang akan menunjukkan perhatiannya kepada seorang gadis muda dan menggoda cinta kasih mereka itu, dan kemudian meninggalkannya dan lupa kepada segala perkataan yang telah mereka ucapkan, dan akibat perkataannya seorang muka baru menarik perhatiannya dan mereka mengulangi perkataan yang sama, mencurahkan perhatian kepada orang lain juga. So you need to know at least 1 year if you broke up with someone to have another new relationship with someone else's. At least 1 year. The minimum is 6 months maybe, so that you can have enough time to break for yourself and have a more wise thinking, wise thoughts in making your new decision to be with someone new. So that's the 7 principle. Now we are going to end up with the conclusion. It says here in Indonesian, kalau pria dan wanita dalam kebiasaan berdoa 2 kali dalam sehari, 2 kali sehari sebelum mereka bermaksud mengadakan perkawinan, haruslah mereka berdoa 4 kali dalam sehari apabila langkah yang demikian sedang diharapkan. It says here in Indonesian, if man and woman in their custom daily pray twice a day before they want to enter a marriage relationship, now they should pray 4 times a day if they want to enter or expecting that kind of relationship, about marriage relationship. So, brothers and sisters, double your portion of prayer if you want to enter a marriage relationship. If you are expecting a marriage relationship, pray double portion a day. If you pray 2 times twice a day, make it 4 times. If you pray 4 times a day, make it 8 times, and so on and so on. So brothers and sisters, that's the 7 principle of courtship relationship when you are going to enter a marriage relationship. As you can see here, we are just discussing about the first step, which is the pre-courtship. There's another 2nd step, 3rd step, and 4th step about courtship, wedding day, and family. In our occasion, we will discuss about this. May this presentation and this video will bless you in a special way, that you will continue to receive blessings, more and more blessings, and also you can be blessings in its abundance to other people. Biarlah video ini boleh menjadi berkat buat kita semua. Semakin kita mempelajari firman Tuhan, kita akan semakin diberkati, dan boleh juga menjadi berkat buat orang lain. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay faithful. Tetaplah diberkati, tetaplah jaga kesehatan Anda, dan tetaplah setia kepada Tuhan. Tuhan memberkati.